In this podcast episode, John Lennox, a distinguished mathematician and Christian apologist, shares his insights on a diverse range of topics, including the interplay between faith and reason, the philosophical and ethical implications of artificial intelligence, AI, the challenges posed by atheism, the meaning of consciousness, and the profound peace and hope offered by Christianity. The discussion touches on how AI intersects with human identity, the moral questions it raises, and why belief in God remains a rational and meaningful stance despite the increasing secularization of society. John Lennox views AI not only as a technological breakthrough, but as a phenomenon that raises fundamental questions about what it means to be human. He distinguishes between narrow AI, which is designed to perform specific tasks, and artificial general intelligence, AGI, which aspires to replicate the full range of human intellectual capabilities. Lennox warns against the blind enthusiasm for transhumanism, the idea of surpassing biological limitations through technological integration, highlighting its potential to lead humanity towards self-deification, a dangerous trend with historical precedents among ancient rulers and empires. He stresses that despite advances in AI, machines lack consciousness, emotions, and subjective experience, qualities that define human beings and underpin human dignity. Lennox critiques the tendency of some to worship or spiritually revere AI as a quasi-divine entity due to its omnipresence and rapid problem-solving ability. He regards such idolatry as a serious mistake rooted in misunderstanding the nature of machines. Using Christian teachings, he reframes the discussion about power and truth, recalling Jesus' trial before Pontius Pilate, where truth and power came into conflict. Lennox sees this dynamic mirrored in contemporary concerns about AI becoming an ultimate arbiter of truth and wielding unprecedented power over human lives and societies. The Christian faith, he argues, offers valuable wisdom on this ethical and metaphysical frontier. The podcast explores the hard problem of consciousness, the scientific and philosophical mystery of how subjective experience arises. Lennox underlines that AI systems only simulate intelligence without genuine awareness or understanding. Despite AI's ability to produce creative outputs or mimic human conversation, it remains fundamentally different from humans, who possess self-awareness and relational consciousness. Lennox draws on neuroscientific research showing the complementary ways the right and left hemispheres of the human brain engage with the world, balancing detail-oriented rationality with holistic context and meaning, and notes that AI mimics only a fraction of this complexity. While many in the scientific and mathematical communities lean towards atheism, Lennox identifies the faith of great pioneers of modern science as evidence that belief in God and scientific inquiry coexist harmoniously. He challenges atheism by arguing that the very rationality and order underlying science presuppose something beyond material processes. Lennox asserts that atheism, especially in its contemporary new atheist form, is self-defeating because it undermines the rationality it depends upon. Christianity, conversely, provides a rational, evidence-based framework that explains human experience, morality, and the structure of the universe. The host shares his own experience with faith and doubt, resonating with Lennox's approach of open inquiry and vulnerability in wrestling with tough questions. Lennox encourages seeking personal evidence for belief, emphasizing that Christianity is about a personal relationship with God rather than adherence to abstract propositions or rules. He likens faith to trust in a loved one, evidence-based but relational, and insists that genuine exploration involves not only intellectual assent but a willingness to take steps of commitment, which in turn lead to deeper understanding and peace. The ethical challenge of suffering and evil, particularly the fate of innocent or afflicted individuals, is recognized as a profound difficulty for belief in a loving, omnipotent God. Lennox refuses simplistic answers but highlights the Christian narrative of the cross, where God enters into human suffering and provides hope for resurrection and ultimate justice. He views this as a unique response to the problem of evil, one that offers transformation and peace rather than despair or nihilism. Lennox also stresses the importance of trusting God's fairness, even when human understanding is limited. Addressing questions about salvation, Lennox clarifies that Christianity is distinguished from merit-based religions by emphasizing grace, acceptance based not on personal goodness, but on Christ's sacrificial work. He highlights biblical examples, including the repentant thief crucified alongside Jesus and personal encounters with transformed individuals in extreme circumstances, as testimony to the power of forgiveness. On the topic of hell, Lennox explains it as a self-chosen separation from God rather than a punitive torture chamber, emphasizing God's respect for human agency. The episode delves into why people across diverse religions experience psychological benefits such as peace and meaning. Lennox acknowledges that faith can bring a sense of fulfillment, but maintains that Christianity uniquely offers peace rooted in forgiveness and a personal relationship with God. He cautions against conflating moral behavior or belief benefits with objective truth claims, urging continued questioning and honest appraisal. He recognizes the natural human yearning for meaning beyond reductionist materialism and identifies Christianity as a worldview that encompasses wider existential realities. Lennox warns that AI development is outpacing the ethical frameworks needed to govern it responsibly. He foresees threats such as increased surveillance, social control, job displacement, and deepening social inequality, particularly in regions lacking infrastructure to adapt to rapid technological change. The possibility of AI's misuse in authoritarian regimes and the arms race around AI safety raise urgent concerns. Lennox calls for informed public discourse and moral reflection to navigate these challenges, drawing parallels with past confrontations between power and truth. A recurring theme is the distinctiveness of human beings in contrast to machines. Lennox highlights relationality, consciousness, subjective experience, and moral awareness as traits that machines cannot replicate. He emphasizes that AI, while powerful and impressive, remains a human-made tool without intrinsic value or rights. This perspective serves as a foundation to resist reducing people to mere machines or biological automata, which undermines human dignity and meaning. Reflecting on his own life, Lennox shares how his faith has provided him with enduring peace, assurance of forgiveness, and a secure relationship with God across decades of questioning and doubt. He underscores that Christianity is not a blind leap, but a reasoned trust that grows through experience and engagement. He observes that many who find Christian faith discover a profound contentment and purpose that other worldviews fail to offer. Throughout the conversation, Lennox encourages ongoing exploration and open dialogue, acknowledging that no single argument suffices for everyone. He prizes skepticism as a healthy starting point, but highlights the importance of stepping beyond mere intellectual distance to experience the personal reality of faith. The episode concludes with Lennox inviting listeners to continue their pursuit of truth with humility, courage, and openness to transformative engagement.